Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got 2 minutes until showtime. Showtime.
Nobody seems to want me, or leave me, or help me. I never know will roam on me if I ever get home again.
All right, that sounded like it was going into what was that song? Do 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 do. That's the cowbell song, right? Welcome, welcome. You are listening to WHIV in New Orleans, 102.3 FM. We honor independent voices. And this is the Monkey Mind or Monkey Mind with Rob. There's no D in it. This show is about Lord knows what. Not that I'm really a believer, but so this show is about brain cancer and living in one's moment and kind of practicing that. And monkey mind refers to it's a Buddhist term that's it's a parallel to what our thinker is. That constant chatter in your head, the voice that always wants to do something. And so basically we have an inherent duality where beneath that is kind of our core sense. It's more of a non-ego driven awareness. And
Brainstorm, take two.
so this Buddhist monk, he basically was trying to meditate, and he realized that he has difficulty with it because his mind always wants to do something. And when it gets all still, his monkey mind gets all bored and wants something to do. So what he started doing was asking his monkey mind, am I breathing? And it would give him a momentary peace of mind so that he could like silence himself and meditate. And he would just kind of keep doing that. And yeah, I just thought that was a pretty brilliant thing when I first heard that, because I had a lot of chatter back in like 05, yeah, I guess 05. I got diagnosed with a GBM brain cancer, and most people, like when you get at that time period, when you got diagnosed with that, you typically had like 6 months. It's a very aggressive cancer, and it's in your brain, so it does a lot of damage. And yeah, so I had always associated that because I had a lot of negative speak, like that monkey mind, which it tends to be your monkey mind, your thinker. It's kind of like your ego. I'm not sure the Freudian thing really parallels with that title of ego, or if this is something I'm kind of making up more due to like Eckhart Tolle or some other stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's like that constant chatter. It can be really negative. It just wants attention, and it wants to like pump itself up. It It loves making it being right and others being wrong. It also really loves being a victim, because then thus that makes somebody else wrong and it right, and that's always a good go-to. And part of the thing is kind of like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers or movie something where, well, I don't know if that's a good example. What I was trying to say is like a lot of people don't even know that they're just being run by this other kind of almost like a parasite. And I think it's a great analogy or thinker with cancer. I mean, that being said, your monkey mind is also your source of a lot of fun, sex. It's a yin and a yang with that for sure. But it is a very transient thing. A lot of things that we identify ourselves as typically really, it's not very. It's more just like, I think, fun to identifying yourself with all these different groups. Well, I'm this or I'm that. And I think it's more, you're this eternal thing, and there's a lot of peace to it. I just got turned on to a new thing that sounds so maybe simple and stupid, but I'm really digging it, and I'm doing it a lot. Where it's, what did it have to do with? I'm trying to think, because I watch all these YouTube videos, so I'm like always searching for new stuff. Or just to hear something that's kind of, I guess, interesting. But yeah, I love it. And it's just saying that, like, regardless of the situation, it's like, I love it, It's finding kind of joy and peace in your moment. And yeah, that's what it's all about. Because all you have is like right now. That's it. And so much of our unrest and hoopla is pretending we're either in our past or bringing that into our moment or worrying about our future, which is not here. And there's certain times, yeah, you got to make lists, do certain stuff, but for the most part, kick out of it. Really start to practice your moment, because that's all there is. That's all there ever was. It's all there ever is going to be. You're never going to do something in the future. You're going to do it right now. And it's a great, I think, practice. And it's also about, not judging so much. There's way too much judgment of ourselves, too much judgment of others. It's more so appreciating what is and making peace with what is. When something's wrong, you move to change it, but you should change it in peace. And that would even go to if you got to hurt somebody or fight somebody to defend somebody, you could do it in peace. All right. And that's what the practice should be. So much of that. But so yeah, work on that. That's your homework. Right? But somebody just waved at me and it cleared my mind. But yeah, so I was really syncing up the two parallels with that. Just the cancer and the whole ego mindset of and really kind of catch yourself joining groups or wanting to identify with this big group. Really try and embrace on. I was like telling somebody the other day, I was like, man, everybody was a baby, it was a sweet little baby, and they just started doing too much ego identification, so much of it, where they could basically become, doing horrible acts, everything. And there's so much that we lose some kind of sense of our caring or something when we join into a group. It seems like we're capable of doing, horrible things and justifying it. Like war, like one of the mottos here is "End all wars" at WHIV. And I think it all starts, like everything else, it starts at home. It starts in the mirror. It starts in the person looking in the mirror and not being loving to themselves. And it's a really something to practice. And all this stuff is never too late. It's never too late to change. It's never too late. It just didn't. You got now, and you're gonna have now. Like so anyway, I had this GBM. So it was really, they were telling me that basically I was gonna die in like 6 months, and so I was doing like chemos and all this kind of stuff. And I guess I just got crazy lucky with it. I don't know, but I haven't met anybody that made it this far out. I'm hearing about them now because I joined a Facebook glioblastoma group, and so that's been kind of interesting hearing other people. And it's also just so much of this just the manipulation of the masses, man. It really is. It's like even you look at the medical thing. Like I have this friend that I met through that website, that Facebook thing I was telling you about, the brain cancer group, and he basically had this big old GBM, I believe, and he just started really dousing himself, doing tons of research on holistic stuff. Now he was still doing some of the other stuff, but he had some just massive reduction, like a 95% reduction of the actual cancer in his brain. And the doctors were giving him no props, because then he was asking, well, what's going on? And the doctor's like, I have no idea. And nobody had seen it before, like he was, saying that from his reports going to the doctor. And the doctors were giving him no props on that. And it's so much about, I think everything boils down to this ego thing. I just think it's the root of humanity. And I think it's our kind of thing to make peace with, and also you don't want to hate on your monkey. You don't want to hate on anybody. You really don't. You want to change things, that's cool, but don't hate. It's a toxin. And yeah, I mean everything, like it goes down to, even like I'm saying, like a medical profession, they just hold on to stuff and they want to keep, if it's not, it became so monetized, the whole medical profession, that it's like too big to fail. So they'll justify, but they gotta embrace like everything. Like what you put in your body, I gotta think like eating styles has gotta be huge, and the amount of just kind of junk that we're consuming as a culture, all processed foods. And it's like, like with me, I don't know, a lot of people are into the vegan stuff. I eat all meat now, and it's gets me a little bit sometimes, but it depends on your mentality, and everybody's a little different. But it's kind of like an evolutionary thing. I think we spent millions of years being basically traveling herds and killing animals and eating them, and part of that evolution of that, I think, increased our brain size and so forth. And but it's what we do with that brain, for sure. And the other thing is, I need to like research this a little bit more, because I'm not sure how to articulate it. But it's like, you are not your ideas. And it's like, well, what am I if I'm not my ideas? But yeah, I think it maybe goes to like kind of the whole monkey mind thing. But yeah, there's something in that seems really, there's a real like inherent truth to it, it seems, that you are not your thoughts. And I was like looking at so much, like even when I went through the cancer experience, it's really dramatic on the family. I was married at the time. My marriage didn't really survive, I don't think, me getting cancer. Just put too much of a dynamic on the whole thing. And then family stuff, I mean, your parents, I mean, your kid gets brain cancer. I mean, it's pretty devastating, or stressors. But then it's like, I had so many people say, well, you were saved for a reason, which of course has me kind of pondering, well, what reason? Because man, I just don't. But I mean, some of that could be a cop out. But what's really so? I don't know. like a big deal, like a really in a way where like everything, but it's like it's really not that important. But it's like a beautiful thing to take joy in and laugh, I think, and have fun with it. You know, like I couldn't really come away. I never came with anything that I even I could fantasize that I could possibly do that would be so kind of lofty. Outside of it, I guess I did boil it down to just being very simple and going like, well, I guess being grateful and being in one's moment is the kind of ultimate kind of experience thing. Like where you're, you know, it's real simple, but it's where it's at. I got this other guy on YouTube that I listen to, but he's very ego rich, and he's kind of he did these like pages to explain the universe, and I wasn't really too blown away by it. I need to do my rebuttal to him or something, but because I think it needs to be more simple and more straightforward. Like I was always like under the notion like everybody kind of has equal opportunity to what's important. Like if you were, that's like religion always kind of turned me off. Organized kind of religion, but I guess everything kind of organized kind of turned me off. But and then also maybe because I couldn't excel, I didn't excel as much in certain things when I was younger that I wanted to when I was in groups. So it may have been an ego. I'm just saying, but I definitely see the group think. It's not healthy. Not healthy. But change is cool. But I think you really get back into the, you know, we're all little pieces, but we all are very connected. But most, like I said, a lot of people just aren't cognitive of them basically being a monkey mind. And monkeys just start, you know, biting and wanting to be important, judging others, making them more important, being a victim, complaining about this, complaining about that. But what do you do the next time you're in a situation that seems kind of unpleasant, maybe? You go, I love it. I swear it works. You keep doing it. Oh, and I got another thing, which is kind of the same thing. My other, I'm calling my personalized philosophy. See, a lot of this I came up with kind of when I was rehabbing from cancer, because my brain was shot. They'd removed a lot of my right frontal lobe, and so I was really just trying to make peace. And I was also trying to get that negative speak, that monkey mind out of from stop just like tearing into mine. And so much of it is just noticing it, and like that's the first part of the practice is noticing and listening to it. But then likewise, you don't really want to start judging it as being ignorant, because then you're just kind of creating another monkey that judges that other monkey, and then your consciousness, your awareness is still underneath that, but you're just, you know, talking to yourself like a monkey, chattering, throwing feces at each other. And then you can get the other monkey that's like, I'm the enlightened monkey. And then you're still judging the other monkey. But, you know, monkeys are supposed to be monkeys. And that's okay. I love it. I wrote a song. I think I say that a bunch in it. I love my monkey. Yeah, it was kind of weird, like doing the show. I keep thinking that I want to stop doing the show, the radio show. But I don't know. I kind of come over here. It's kind of nice. This is a daydream and talk about stuff, because I think some of this is really important, and it was huge for me. But yeah, this latest little I love it thing feels pretty good. And so much about being in your moment, and so much about our displeasure, of course, is not accepting what is, and or making peace with it, and that's just the moment, you know. The great saying that it is what it is, and yeah, making peace with that. You can change stuff, but like I said, it's like changing stuff or get you. It's like the three things. It's like you either change it, if you can't change it, then you get away from it. If you can't get away from it, then you got to make peace with it. But that peace can also mean, it's more just being aware of your moment and being grateful for your moment, because this is your moment, and you should take a lot of joy and love in it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now, not to say it's always going to be. Some moments are painful and they're ignorant. They're based off ignorant because you've got some monkey doing something to you or something, and that's, But this is your moment. It's part of your journey, your path, and your kind of more than all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are just a, I don't I lost my thing on that. But yeah, you're just like so much above all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really are, even though you're beneath it. But yeah, but it's making peace. Like so much of this, like the news, it's like it seems like everybody's propaganda of something, and they can't help it. Like I said, because most of these people think they're monkeys. They are their monkey. But they're not. Well, I mean, I guess they can create that. I think there's so much of stuff that we create our reality, and we're in total, real control of that. Nobody makes us feel bad or something like that. We do that to ourselves. We are in the driver's seat, and it's only when we hand over the keys to the monkey that when crazy stuff. And you can still have fun with your monkey. And I think part of it's like, the other thing I was calling my personal thought is F it. I can't say the F on the radio, but it's F it. And then I love it now. So I'm like, and that's kind of the same thing. The way I look at those two kind of phrases. They are synonymous, just like cancer and the monkey mind. It's parasite. But, and it's kind of like, I guess this is kind of judging too, but you can kind of look at it like, that's my monkey. He can't help it. And also you got to understand a lot of people that are getting all crazy on you, they can't help it. They are so identified with that kind of monkey that, they're not in control. So you getting kind of mad at him and stuff is almost, it's on you. Like so much stuff is really just on you. It really is. It just goes back to us. And, making peace with the person in the mirror, and your frailties of it too, and everything, like your faults. It's okay. You got now, man. You can mix it up. You got right now, and you're gonna have a lot of nows. I think I was telling this, but I lost my train of thought. But so anyway, that was like what 14, 15 years ago. I got diagnosed with that 6 months kind of quote expiration date kind of thing, and so then I do MRI. So they saw that the cancer pretty much wasn't getting any blood flow and it wasn't changing. So they pretty much determined that my original site of that, my right frontal lobe, was all scar tissue. So on MRIs, it looks like all misty and it's like a white on the contrast. At least the kind of MRIs that I do, the tumors and scar tissue show up and look almost identical. They show up as white, and so 8 months ago, I do yearly MRIs just to kind of monitor the stuff, because it's, like I said, it is a real rarity to live this far out with GBM, glioblastoma, and what was I saying? Oh yeah, because then they did another MRI. So it was 8 months ago, and they saw a suspect area over my brainstem, and they're kind of far off from one another, but yeah, and so cancer is the crab, so it pretty much meanders. So you can usually see, I think, the path from one cancer for it like metastasizing somewhere else. So you can see like where it kind of travels, as I understand it. And everything else that I'm saying is as I understand it. So I could definitely be wrong. But that's okay. I'm not gonna get mad at my monkey. But I love it. But try that I love it thing. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, so I didn't get diagnosed with that, but they basically were saying, and then they started passing me around. I was at Ochsner. I was in an HMO Ochsner, so you're all going to Ochsner doctors. So they passed me around when they saw that, and they knew my history, of course. So they started passing me around like a hot potato. And eventually I landed on this one doctor that I liked a lot. And what was that? Yeah, I remember that night I went back from that. I was like, dang, because it was like really confirmed that I had something that looked like cancer. Again, over my brainstem. And the brainstem is not a good area for surgeries. And so, you couldn't really biopsy it. So basically you're trying to determine that it's cancer via what was I gonna say? Via MRIs and change. Like you can see the way, like I guess they have certain tendencies of how things change. And so yeah, so then that night, okay, moral is getting to the point at some process. So at some that night, I remember I'm in my bed. I'll live alone, and just kind of propping up, and I was like, man, this thing's coming back, huh? All right. I was like, it's probably gonna. I gotta think it's gonna. You dodge a bullet once, and everybody's like, you're not meeting anybody else that's doing it. So, but then it was like that night. It was really cool. It was like one of those little epiphanies that you get every now and then, and I just felt really in my moment, and it just seemed like kind of bearing witness to it and giving it attention and giving it gratitude. It was like eternity, and it was like I had so much abundance of, what I'm saying, life in that moment, just a being, that it was like I wasn't really worried about somebody saying, oh, this is gonna stop or this is gonna change. I don't know, it just felt really cool. And but I mean, that being said, I mean, I'm not blasting off to the, I want to hang around. I got some family, got some friends, and it's just kind of cool to just see the things pass. And I guess I lost a lot of my ambition, sort of, in a way. Or I don't know. I just see so much stuff. It's like you can really kind of go, this is kind of, and it's like, why are you doing things, and putting your proper attention and gratitude. And I guess some of that would be just being in your moment. It really boils down to like really giving your moment that breathing it in, listen to your breath. And I always thought that was pretty brilliant too, because like I had tried some years back to get into like meditation. Like I was trying to just give myself, I don't know, some kind of hobbies or something to do to pass the time. I guess I was just recently divorced, and so I tried to do like the New Orleans, I guess, Zen group or something. Ended up going to some house in mid city and being right in front of like a wall. But it was kind of fun. But the moral that I was saying is that it's so on the point of you meditating in your moment and not projecting yourself into like a preconceived duration of time so much. Like you're going to be meditating right now. You're not going to be meditating like, oh, I'm going to take a 30-minute meditation. You're going to be doing like, what I'm saying, you're meditating now. You're not going to be projecting into it. And that was like kind of the brilliance of what that monk kind of tapped onto. It's just that moment of having that monkey
Brainstorm.
listen to the
Take
breath and be still and listening to breath, quieting his mind and getting being meditative. Pretty cool. So it's like, you know, you're not like, oh, I meditated no, you meditated, you know, it's now. But really going back to that is a real good cure-all. Going back to your moment right now and giving it gratitude is where it's at. And just put that on a rinse and repeat. And it's also too, like, you know, practicing certain things that don't work out. That's okay, because you got now to fix it. I mean, if it didn't work out in the past, that's gone, man. Past ain't here. That's what you got right now. That's all you got. That's all you're gonna get. So it's like you got these unlimited lives to just keep making peace or keep practicing to find your gratitude in your moment. And that's where it's at. All this other stuff is like, you know, smoke and mirrors. I mean, the monkey's always going to want the new toy. That's where it's at, you know, strive for this or that. And then once you get there, then there's another toy you want to get, or there's some other kind of prop. There's always that something like out there where it's so much about being thankful for what you have, no matter what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I mean, it's definitely out there. But yeah, it's an unhealthy practice that seems to keep going and going and going and going and going. And then these groups come in and basically want to, you know, groups of monkeys form like a Planet of the Apes. And then they start to solidify their group to store their nuts and keep it away from others. It's like the irony of becoming what you're fighting against seems to be so much of the like so many people that suffer, I think I read somewhere, so many people that suffer from sexual abuse as children turn out to abuse others. It's like a sad parallel. And it just seems to go with the ego identification and stuff like that, and not really forgiving yourself and judging yourself harshly. And it's about forgiving, being grateful, and finding the joy in your moment. I love it. F it. In a nice way. But yeah, I mean, and it's like I'm so, like, you know, guilty of all this stuff too. I'm constantly, but I don't know. I mean, whatever. Whatever. I was saved for a reason. Alright, I'm going to talk some other stuff here too. Did you know that 102.3 WHIV LP New Orleans has been broadcasting for 5 years? Time, man. Time isn't really a thing. It's just now. We are able to honor independent community voices with your support. And we got swag. We got t-shirts, hoodies, white fanny packs. And these make for great gifts or treat yourself. I bought I got one of the tank tops. The logo's really cool. It's like one of those, it's black and white, but it's like an image of one of those, you know, old school kind of chrome, big kind of crooner microphones, or I guess a news broadcast kind of microphone. Lightning bolts coming out of it. Always cool. So yeah, so simply go to WHIVFM.org and click store. That's WHIVFM.org. Thanks, y'all. I had people make fun of me because I said y'all when I was up north. Well, they didn't really. I think they made fun of me behind my back. We are not a radio station with a mission. We are a mission with a radio station. But our mission is also independent voices. So I'm gonna say we got a few missions here. End all wars. So that's like the end of it. That means you need to get up and go into the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror. You want to end all wars? Start with the person in the mirror. A person in the mirror. And make some peace. Say, I love you. Give yourself a big old monkey hug. And even love your monkey. Monkey can't help it. Can't help it, that crazy, crazy monkey. And people are suffering, man. People are suffering. The monkeys are suffering. Monkeys like to suffer. They do. They do, they do. That's a go-to. Easiest way is to say, you know, you've been done wrong. And somebody else is to blame. Wasn't me. I didn't do it. It's okay. It's okay. So what else we got on this agenda here? Yeah, we're trying to get. I'll have to look that up. Ooh, I'm gonna start. This is more monkey stuff for me. But anyway, so I do like art and stuff like that. But I've been really kind of slacking. I got really just sidetracked with like house stuff. I guess I don't know. I got a house, so I've been fixing it up, sort of, and trying to make that work. I'm also kind of spacey, and so I lose kind of a lot of what I'm doing when I'm doing it, and some stuff too. It's like it's so hard to retain. But I don't practice this stuff too. It's like I should be, I guess, working out my brain more. But we all tend to surround ourselves by that kind of comfort factor, yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I think I need a muse. Anyway, so I do a lot of art and stuff, and I was big into that sometimes back. But and it's kind of fun as long as I think you don't take it too seriously. Like I definitely was doing the ego trip when I was younger. I was very kind of competitive about my art. I was always like angling to be the best artist in the class or what have you, and thought I was. And so I still, I guess, have a little ego thing. And if you really think about art, it is pretty kind of narcissistic. Doesn't have to be, I guess, but it tends to be. And that's like all the image of this, brilliant artist who is, And I always liked in art history, it was always so much like, it was just like one person kind of ripping off somebody else and another person. And I think somebody has a great quote, like something about a great artist is just a good thief or something like that. But, because how, art history is basically laid out, it's like basically who's making the kind of a dramatic kind of tweak of the way we see things and the way we represent them. Like Cubism, went to another movement, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's kind of fun. But anyway, I was thinking about like a muse. So it's so nice to have kind of somebody that, inspires you to want to, I don't know, just do stuff, create stuff. I was really kind of bummed out. I went grocery shopping the other day, and man, they took the Land O'Lakes girl off the Indian. Proud Indian. Took her off the bloody label. Man. Can't. I always thought she was just like cool because you could make her knees into her breasts and stuff. That was pretty cool. But man, I'm not happy about that one. But it was funny because they had it like in different sections at the grocery store when I was at. So they had like the heavy cream, because I drink heavy cream with the whole carnivore eating thing that I do. So, but the Land O'Lakes I wanted to buy because it had the girl. So they still had some old packaging, I guess there. I guess they just did this, and but man, it was like considerably more than the. If I went cheap, I just bought something else. But then as I walked down, I saw the butter section, and they had pulled her off of all the things. So it's basically like it's like a nature scene, like it's the same scene with her where she was, but now she got up and walked off. Man, next thing they're gonna take the St. Polly's girl. Oh, you're gonna take her off. Deutschland.
Brainstorm take 2.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. But I bought Irish butter. Always buy that. I would buy that Kerry Gold but they had this other cheap, but it said it was Irish. So I was like, all right, I'll give you a shot. It said Irish butter on it. And I did, what is that, like 3 years ago? I became a dual citizen because my grandfather was born in Dublin. So if your grandparent or parent was born in Ireland, you're kind of automatically an Irish citizen, but you got to send in your documentation to kind of show them. So it took me a long time to do that because, like I said, I get a little a wandering. They had a really funny post on Facebook, I think, the other day, and it was somebody had posted it about that they were trying to do something, and then they went into the room and then saw this other thing to do, and then it like snowballed, and so they were doing like 20 different things. I don't know if I remember the punchline, but I thought that was kind of cool because that's kind of how it is. What helps me out a lot is I take like little lists and stuff so I can get back on point. But there's a lot to say. You can just mind zap yourself on doing, and I think we're seeing that culturally right now, because people, it's a way to kind of quiet that monkey mind, and people don't have that. And you want to see how kind of in touch you are and how tuned you are. Try and just go into a room by yourself with no, sound or anything, and really just try and be still and quiet. And that's, I think, what we're seeing these monkey minds going just, nervous everywhere. And it's part of our isolation with this COVID thing. I haven't figured out the whole conspiracy. I was going for just China at first, but now I don't really know. I mean, it has to start with China for sure. I want to say a big shout out to South Park for standing up to China, and a big sad face for Vans Shoe Company for bowing down to China like that. In our entertainment industry for changing stuff. I mean, it's freedom of speech, man. It's so important, and such a rarity on the globe. I mean, people want you to shut up, and it's so important, even when what's being said is not something you agree with. As long as it's not inciting like direct violence or that, it needs to be said. So forth. Now you don't have to. You can say that it's ignorant, and most stuff that people are doing is it's really based on just fear and ignorance. It's they don't have to be the Beelzebub, basically, or a Nazi. But yeah, I mean, it's so important to embrace freedom of speech here and globally. And it seems like there's a big repression on that. You exercise your rights to either change something or get away from it or make peace with it. Yeah. You can tell I'm still a little upset about my Indian that walked away. or my tribal person. I'm gonna say she was Cherokee. I'm not sure how true this is. I had heard my dad used to be really big, or is really big into genealogy. They do that. What do you call it? That what's that site? I forget the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. Where you can like research your history way back, your family tree. And so he told me that I had a Cherokee, but it was like my seventh grandmother. I tried to Google it. This was years ago. I remember trying to Google my Chandler. I tried years ago to kind of figure out the math on that, like what percentage of Cherokee that meant I was my seventh grandmother. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even figure out how to find the equation online, but it was a big number. Needless to say, I am not going to get any casino money. But she married a Scottish guy. But apparently there weren't a lot of women around. They were a hot commodity. And yeah, pretty cool. Then I was out of Tennessee. I think she lived. And I read a really pretty interesting book. And back in the day, it was like if you went on the west side of the Mississippi, that was considered like you were on another side of the world. I mean, that was huge. That was like, and the book I read was, I think it was called, was it called Cold Mountain? Maybe it was Cold Mountain. But it was really cool. It was like this guy that had this little outpost that was along the Appalachian Trail or something like that. And so people, you know, these people that would be traveling around, they'd come in as like a little corner store, you know, his little corner store selling his fried chicken and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't sell fried chicken, but supplies and stuff like that. But it's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. But you know, history is only so much. You know, it's just that it's history. So you know, you have fun with it. When it gets beyond having fun, I'd say kick it to the curb. You know, like it's fun to like kind of celebrate your family roots. Like I got a kick out of, you know, seeing the old birth certificates of my grandfather and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like right now, I mean, it shows you the whole kind of hypocrisy of it. I'm like right now an Irish citizen. I've never been to Ireland, but that's like so me. But you know, it's okay. I would like to go over there and like live for like a year, but that might take a little bit of finagling. But all my friends that have gone said they said I'd like it, so I believe them. And my family too that's been there. But yeah, it's cool. And I love all the you know, tribal stuff too. I just thought it was the coolest thing to even think I was had some tribal vibes, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that being said, it's, you know, you embrace everybody. One love, people, one love. And on that note, I'm gonna look for my brainstormer. I wonder if I could do this. Try something here. Fancy there. Fancy. I guess I gotta keep talking here. So yeah. So sometime back, I wrote a song, and it's called My Monkey Mind. I'm just gonna play it here. All right, we're gonna do it how we normally do it. So this is a song I wrote kind of pretty recent. Hey monkey, I want you to love me. Monkey, I wanna love you when I feel you, you my monkey. So you can see this is the theme song. Cruel, but you're mine, oh mine, my little monkey. I had a life-size toy, it was a monkey. When I squeezed it, it made a cute sound. Hey, monkey, I want you to love me. Monkey, I wanna love you when I feel you, you my monkey. You're so mean and cruel, but you're mine, all mine, my little monkey. Wearing a suit and fedora, sits in a bar. He tells a joke to the bartender, who's also a chimpanzee. The joke is about two penguins. Hey, monkey, I want you to love me. Monkey, I wanna love you when I feel you, you my monkey. You're so mean and cruel, but you're mine, all mine, my little monkey. Watch out, those goddamn monkeys bite, I tell ya. Apocalypse Now, Dennis Hopper. I want you to bite me, monkey. I don't really care, you're not mine, all mine. You with me all the time. Hey, monkey, I feel you, but we ain't one. Hey, monkey. Ooh. Get into your monkey. I love that monkey, that monkey, that monkey, that monkey mine. Can't help but love that monkey, that monkey, that monkey, that monkey mine. Hey, monkey, I want you to love me. Monkey, I wanna love you when I feel you, you my monkey. Ooh, mean and cruel, not mine, all mine. Little monkey, you're not bite me. I want you to bite me, monkey. Don't really care, you're not mine, all mine. You with me all the time. Hey, monkey. Ooh. You ain't one. But I love that monkey, that monkey, that monkey, that monkey man. Whoa. Potato. All right. We got our up next, Red Priest with Listen to Us Live.
It's gonna get heavy today.
Oh, trauma time. Trauma.
We got the trauma.
All right, lots of love, you guys. Y'all take care of yourselves and get in your moment.
Corporate America.
Capitalists, Republicans, Democrats.
Bobby Dion.
Huh.
Buddy Wallace.
Oh, Max the Knife.
Dion.
This is trauma?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to tell me about the backstory?
No. Just music.
They were attacked by
This
a
music's
wolf?
transverse from coma to trauma.